Alrighty, welcome back everyone to my Give Me God of War difficulty walkthrough, and in this video we are going to be doing all of Ragnarok part 1. This is obviously going to be part 1. This has to be cut into 2 parts because this ending is pretty long with all the cutscenes. So, what I'm going to tell you is this will be uploaded on the same day as the next part, which will be after this, so I will have both of them ready. I obviously played all of this in a predetermined way so that I could go ahead and do this, so that I could obviously upload 2 parts on a single day at the exact same time. So, this is just going to be all of the Ragnarok fights, and then the next episode is just going to be all of the Ragnarok boss fights, and then that is it. Then you will have God of War Ragnarok finished on the hardest difficulty. So, we are going to move on to the first fight now. You can see what I do here. So, I do sell a bunch of the resources that we've grabbed throughout the entire game. So, that's why I've been grabbing them, is obviously to just sell them at this end game part here. If you are going to be playing after and doing all the side missions and all the boss fights after, which I won't be making a video on, but if you are deciding to do that, you probably shouldn't sell all this. But I'm obviously selling all this because this is just a guide on how to beat the game, not how to 100% it. Alrighty, so that's it for me for now, and I will see you guys when we get on to the first fight.
To be very impressed. Gimme. Woohoo! Looking good. What was I thinking? Of course you got your armor all set. Just go win. That's all that matters.
General.
Sir? General?
General?
Sir.
Hey, bud. General?
I came to these lands to escape my past, to start a new life. I can hide no longer. I do not want this war. We have suffered enough. Prophecy did not lead us here, nor will it win this battle. Wars are won by those that are willing to sacrifice everything. If that is the cost of vengeance, so be it.
Odin has taken so much from us already. The realms have suffered enough. No matter the cost. This ends today.
If going out in a blaze of glory means that Odin burns too, that's where I'll be. A big, fat smile on my face.
For Brock.
Ready yourselves. The Muspelheim Tower is falling.
And if Odin goes after Niflheim next,
They're trying to shut out Ragnarok.
we gotta stop those war machines.
Not an ideal start. Wait.
Ingrid, we don't have time.
I know. Just wait.
Ingrid!
Well, we got work to do.
You three, follow. Atreus. Freya, with me. Watch our flanks. To the war machines.
This way!
Alrighty, so we're going to have a lot of quick fights here. So starting with the first one here. This is going to be just a couple of Bifrost enemies. This one's pretty, very simple. So you're going to kill that one guy, and if you run forward, you're going to see two more that spawn in. For these two, you just want to, like I said before in the previous video, try to juggle them if you get the chance, because they're obviously green HP, which means that you are way stronger than they are. You can either go ahead and try to juggle them, or you could obviously do exactly what I did there. Alrighty, so that is it for that fight. That one's pretty easy. It's just 3 enemies. And we are going to move on to the next fight, which is going to be right up. I think it's right here. Yeah, it is. It's right here. So for this one, you do have a boulder that you can use on this guy who has 2 bars of HP. As you see there, I did use it on him. And I think it's only these 3 enemies. So this is the exact same thing as the previous one. You are able to juggle them, except for this big guy right here. You can't juggle him because obviously he is a tank enemy, so he's going to eat a lot of hits. My best bet for this guy is you just want to charge up the blades with the mash triangle button and then use the R2 attack. That's probably your best way to do that. And then there's going to be this enemy, which is another one of these flying like mini dragons that you're going to be facing. And then I think that's it. And then you're just going to get these 2 normal enemies. So right here, you're going to see me use the realm shift as soon as I get my axe fully charged up to go ahead and kill the wyvern, as you see right there. That's the name of it. I actually didn't know that. And then when you move on to jumping up here, there's going to be more enemies. It's going to be the exact same thing. Just use your axe heavy attack. It should make them go flying in the air. And then you can go ahead and juggle them with your light attack on the axe. That's probably the best way that you're going to be doing most of these fights in here. So after that one, you just have to go ahead and keep moving on ahead. And you're going to see another fight just below right here, I'm pretty sure. There is another fight. Yes, there is. So for this one, you're going to see the Fisk enemy that you saw before. And you're going to see one of these giant enemies. So for this giant enemy here, you want to stun him, because obviously if you are able to stun him and he gets to a certain amount of HP, you can obviously jump on top of him. Now you want to use him to go ahead and kill that Fisk enemy, the one that has the Bifrost scythe. And that's probably the best way to do this. There's 2 mini bosses eliminated just like that. And you just want to keep spamming the heavy attack. And just like that, you can kill 2 of the mini bosses. Now you're just on to the normal enemies, which is just going to be obviously the same thing as before. Since you're going to be stronger than them, they don't get any better usually. Unless obviously they have maybe orange or purple HP, you might not be able to do this. But as you see here, I'm just spamming the flame whiplash attack which is, like I said, spam triangle and then you press R2. It's a very good attack at building the fire element on them, and it's also very good at juggling them. So that's why you obviously see me doing it so much. And that's it for that fight. So we are going to move on to the next one.
This way!
Up here!
Jormungandr!
A welcome sight, but he didn't follow us from Midgard. Curious. He'll keep Thor busy at least.
Alrighty, moving on to the next fight here. You do want to watch out for the dragon, which I'm not sure if he's going to hug the left side like he did for me. I think he might follow you, so just watch out for him. And then you're just going to have these two enemies. This is exactly the same. They do have yellow HP, but you could still jug them if you do have to, of course. You don't, obviously, you're not forced to do this. But I find this as a really good combo that you can do in the game. And I am presenting it to you right here in the best possible time, which probably has some of the hardest fights. Alrighty, so moving on to this part here, like I said, as long as you keep charging your axe before you start these fights, you can just send them into the water as you saw me do there. And then right here, I just go ahead and just keep them juggled like always. Like I said, jugging in this game, being able to go ahead and just keep them in the air, keep juggling them, it makes it very, very easy for some of these challenging fights. That one's obviously not challenging because it's just two enemies. One if you throw the one in the water. And that's it for that fight, so let's move on to the next one.
Looks like the giants made it after all.
Snake looks different.
He is different. But when I was away, never mind, later.
The Einherjar's link to Valhalla. My sisters and I must sever it.
Go. Still no sign of the dwarves.
Sindri won't let us down. We have to trust him.
Rally all you can. We will make for this Svartalfheim tower.
Alrighty, so moving on to the next fight here, you do see a cut there because I did die a couple times. This is going to be another one of those enemies where they're riding the bull, and you obviously have to hit them off. So you're going to see right here, I hit them off early, and then I only go for attacking this bull. Now, obviously, this is another one where it's up to you on which order you would like to kill them in. Right here, you see me kill the bull first. I do like to get the big enemies out of the way, and or the mini-boss enemies out of the way. And as you see here, like I told you the last time, you just want to try and keep parrying them, because that's the best way to do the most damage out of them. And that's probably the best way that you're going to be able to kill him. You could use your rage, obviously. You do still have that, and you could build it pretty quickly in this game. So if you want to use your rage on him, go ahead. There's not really much of a downside, especially if you're at max rage, because there's so many fights in this area. If you're at max rage, you can use one, and then you could obviously get it back, and then you can use another one once you fully max it out again. So you don't really have to save this one compared to like other areas that only have a couple of fights. This has guaranteed bunch of fights. So for this part, you just need to use the drop near spear to hit that little platform. You're gonna see a little area to throw your drop near spear at, which is right there. That's where you want to throw it. Obviously, it was acting a little bit weird for me. Not sure why it did work the first time, but hey, didn't get me killed, so it's whatever, right? Alrighty, so moving on to this next fight, which is going to be right here. I think this one only has 2 enemies on it, but you're going to see me just throw the drop in your spear to kill them. You could do the same if you really want to, since it's a ranged enemy. They have a lot less of an HP health pool. So that's it for that fight. So moving on to the next one, which is going to be right here. You can obviously throw this guy off if you charge your axe the same time that I did.
The dwarves are here! Way to go, Sindri! It's just Sindri!
I know, I'm late.
Where is your army?
No more dwarves are dying.
Moving on to the next fight right here. This is one where they're just going to be standing up on this little mountain here. You can obviously just throw your axe at them like you saw me doing there, but they're going to rush you at some point. So once they jump down, this is probably a good time where you want to use your rage right here, if you have been saving it, because this is one of those armored enemies, and they can be a little bit annoying with their unblockable attack, and then plus the ranged enemy who can make you lose all your HP, like I did right there. I am very good at keeping 1 HP for a lot of these fights. No clue why, but it almost always happens. I usually only have around 1 HP. Alrighty, so that's it for that fight. So we're going to move on to the next fight.
By bloody time he showed up.
You don't get to use us anymore.
More or less what you wanted.
I didn't want this. No. Close your heart to it. Close your heart.
Who are they?
Midgardians. Odin took them in. They shouldn't be here. They're not soldiers.
Odin put them in our path to die.
It's war. Wars are won by those who are willing to sacrifice everything. What are you doing?
Son, listen closely. You feel their pain because that is who you are. And you must never sacrifice that. Never. Not for anyone. I was wrong, Atreus. I was wrong. Open your heart. Open your heart to their suffering. That is your mother's wish. And mine as well. Today, son. Today, we will be better.
But what can we do?
See the size of that thing? I think we're gonna win.
I mean, if they don't kill us first.
Why have you stopped? Ragnarok is here. We finally have Odin right where we...
We will stop Odin. But we did not come to sacrifice the innocent. We will breach the wall at Hrimthur's Flaw.
With what army?
Atreus and I will be enough.
That's suicide.
It may be. But we will die seeking justice, not vengeance. Can that weapon break open the flaw?
Only one way to find out.
You three. Get those people to safety wherever you can find it.
We will see it done.
Freya and I will do what we can to slow Ragnarok.
He was not mindless before. See if he will listen to reason. Odin will not get away.
If he does, so help me.
I know.
Valky!
No! No! Protect him! I will help those that are trapped. And meet you at the fall. Go! Go, Atreus!
Sindri! Sindri, be careful and stay behind me.
Alrighty, so this is where you swap to Atreus. So there's not too much that you can do here, but I'm just gonna recommend that you just keep shooting them in the head because you're gonna be able to build their stun very, very quickly because obviously you're playing as Atreus. And then once they're stunned, that's when you just keep hitting them until they turn red, and then that's when you go ahead and grab them. If they don't turn red while they're in the middle of their stun, then obviously you want to try and grab them last second. That's just to get the most amount of HP out of them while they're stunned. And also, if you can get it to red, then obviously you can get a free kill. So then you want to focus this dog because it could be very annoying. There will be another one in the corner, but Sindri should be able to take care of it, almost all of its HP. So you just got to hit him around once or twice. And then for this part, there's just going to be two ranged enemies and one of these tank enemies. So for him, you could just use your light runic summon and then use your heavy runic. It doesn't matter, it doesn't have to be the same thing that I'm using. It should do around the same amount of damage. So you should be able to get him to around 25% of his HP. And then right here, you just see me go ahead and just parry him. So if you do need to, yes, just parry him if he ever gets close to you. I would say just keep your distance to him because obviously, you know, you don't really need to be in close range. It's not like you're playing as Kratos and you have to be in close range. Alrighty, that's it for that fight. So we will move on to the next one, which I think is right here actually, and yes, it is. So this fight is not hard. You're basically going to be stuck in permanent rage, so there's not too much to explain here, and I don't even think that you can die here. So I'm not really going to explain too much in this fight. You just obviously use R1 to just swing, and just keep swinging until you obviously kill them all. And then that will be it for Atreus' part. This part is basically impossible for you to die on. I don't think it is possible. I don't even think you take damage on this part, so there's not too much to explain. This is the end of Atreus' part, though, so we are going to move on to the next fight.
What? You want to thank you?
No, I just want...
I don't care what you want. This changes nothing.
You really had me believing you that we didn't have to be enemies.
Dude, you're okay.
My mom was right about you all along. You're a killer just like your father, and you're here to kill us all.
No, just Odin. Sindri, go! She's a friend.
Friends don't bring the end of the world to each other's doorstep, Loki!
You're right. You're right. I made some bad decisions.
You do that a lot. I'm not sure that's a defense.
It's not a defense. I just want to make it right. Is Skilder okay? Have you seen him?
Why wouldn't he be? What are you talking about?
Odin is willing to sacrifice the Midgardians. He put them along the wall to try and deter us, knowing they can't fight. Their deaths are just meant to slow us down.
Why would he do that? And how am I supposed to believe you?
Because he's right. It's who Odin is. It's who he's always been.
Mom, why are you here? What?
He'll sacrifice anyone at a problem in front of him. The Midgardians. Your friend. Our family, any of us. I'd hoped that your father would stand up to him, but now it has to be you.
Mom, what are you saying?
Thrud. I never doubted that you would make the finest Valkyrie these realms have ever seen. But not for him. Do you understand?
But our family.
Without Odin, we can be one again. A real one. What he's doing is wrong.
He said if we held our ground, we'd be safe. He said we owed him.
You don't owe him your death.
No shit.
Dad will never let them get their grandfather.
Then go with him. He'll listen to you. Are you ready to go find the rest of your people?
Yeah.
I love you, Mom.
I love you too.
Finally. Shoot it.
Well done, son. Well done. Who is the girl?
Hi! Who's Thor's daughter?
Thor's daughter?
My friend.
Alrighty, so moving on to the first fight here. You can use this boulder on whoever you want to. You don't have to use it on the same guy that I use it on. You can obviously use it on these enemies that are supercharged. So when they're supercharged like this and they have that ice effect on them, or obviously the extra HP that is ice, you can go ahead and aim with the blades, and if you hold R2, you can actually get basically all of their free HP gone, and then you just got to do 1 or 2 more hits, and then they should run out of that like little ice HP that they have. So I think you're going to see me do it here. Now you can also, if it comes to it, you can mash triangle and do the R2 attack, the slam down R2 attack. That also works. So if obviously you don't have enough time to aim it and hold R2, because it is a very long move, so it can be hard sometimes, you can just mash triangle and use that as an attack. So you are going to see me using my armor and all of my stuff to my advantage because of that frost resolve. Every time that I charge up, I think it's every time that you charge up the axe, you get that little buff, which is really nice to have in a time like this when there's a ton of enemies. And this fight isn't too bad. This is going to be the same as last time. Just try and juggle them if you are having trouble on this one. And that should be it. Then you're going to have these 2 shield enemies and then 1 ranged enemy. Like I said, juggling is really, really nice, as you see me doing right here. I am literally just straight up just juggling the 2 enemies. And just like that, we are done with this fight. So we are nearing the end of the normal Ragnarok fights. I think there's only around 3 more. So for this one, you're going to have 1 ranged enemy. You can attack them first. And then you're going to have, I think there's a tank enemy here, but I'm not entirely sure if that's true or not. If not, though, you can use that boulder on anyone. They're all, I think they're all, if that tank enemy doesn't exist, then they're all pretty much the same. And it looks like that tank enemy does not exist. So I go ahead and just use the boulder right there. And then I use it on the, I throw my axe for the last ranged enemy. Alrighty, so it looks like there was none of the one of those tanky enemies that have 2 bars of HP. I thought there was one there, so I do apologize for making that mistake. And for that one, you can just kill that wyvern pretty easily as long as you save your charged axe from the previous fight and you move quickly. As you saw there, I got basically just a free kill because of the previous fight. So this is where the tank enemy was at. This is where I got it mixed up at. So it does make sense. They are pretty close. For this one, you can use your rage if you would like to. Unless if you're saving it, obviously, for the Thor fight or the 2 Odin fights. Personally, it's up to preference, but we're getting closer to the end. So don't really worry about having to save your rage. For now, you can probably just still just use it. I would say don't really worry too much about using your rage against the 3 bosses that you have to do. I would say just use, you don't have to use all of your rage, but try and use most of your rage on these parts. There's just going to be a little couple of enemies just dotted around, as you're seeing here. And this is going to be the final fight of this video. Obviously, this will be uploaded at the same time as the next one. But this is going to be the last fight, the last normal fight. The rest is just going to be boss fights. So hopefully I see you guys in the next one. And once you finish this, you will be on to all of the God of War Ragnarok boss fights. So hopefully this did help you guys. And I will see you guys in the next one. Take care.